Donald Glover, Dave,
Presents.
presents. Uh, Kind of crazy. So last weekend we were going to talk about Donald Glover. He dropped these songs on a website he created called donaldgloverpresents.com, and they were kind of just playing. What was that,
Yeah.
on loop or like a video?
Yeah, on
Um,
loop.
and people could listen, make comments. People thought that the ability to make comments was maybe people trying to come up with names for the albums, or the title tracks, I should say. And then it just kind of got taken down after less than 24 hours. And we were like, okay, this drop is coming. Didn't come last weekend. And then, with most things, Childish Gambino, or I guess now Donald Glover, you never really know. Like, are we going to be getting this? We might never hear these songs again. No one knew. And then here it comes, 3/15/20.
Which is just the date of that stream.
Yeah, and every track is, except for two, which are algorithm and time, are just the time on the album that these songs start.
Right.
So 12 minutes 38 seconds in, that song's called 12:38. Just very
And
simple.
Time was the name people kind of made up for the song with Ariana Grande when they heard it on stream. And I guess Donald's like, all right, cool, I'll call this one Time. Like,
Yeah,
or maybe that was his plan all along. Again, we have no idea.
and I think it feels very Don Glover, very experimental
Yeah.
and artistic, non-traditional. Is this album good though, Dave?
It,
Ooh.
I don't know. I like a lot of it, but it's like really all over the place.
Yeah,
And at
it
times
is.
messy.
Oh,
And
very
I
messy.
think this is the continuation of DG's evolution as a musical artist away from just kind of being someone who's got corny bars for the white kids, and now he's kind of evolved. And obviously Awaken My Love was that full transition. I think Awaken My Love is much more focused. I think that's pretty obvious. But like, 3/15/20, this one definitely kind of jumps around, sounds a lot more, and that's cool. But I don't know if like it really comes together as like a full project. I think it can be kind of jarring. Like I didn't listen to that stream before it was taken down, but I think because I think his lyrical message, his content about like observations around the world and things. I don't know if he gets too deep with that, and you combine that again with like the sound jumping around. So I don't know if like it fully lives up to its I don't know, grand ambition. Then again though, Don really didn't hype this up at all. He just kind of just threw it out there. He didn't even care to come up with song names or give it an album cover. So
Yeah.
I guess in that sense, expectation should be lowered. I don't know. It's kind of weird though that Feels Like Summer is also on this with a different name, a song from 2018 that was already Grammy nominated. Like,
Yeah.
so I like parts of it, but there's other stuff he does that I honestly like. When it's more like Feels Like Summer, I'm kind of not with it. But like when it's more funky, like Awaken My Love, I'm definitely into it.
Yeah, and it feels like the majority of these songs are similar to what you hear on Awaken My Love, like especially like the middle run, basically from time through, I don't know, 32 point period 22.
I hate these names.
I know, me too. It's hard just to talk about them.
Yeah,
But
it's like
that
Untitled Unmastered with
yeah,
Kendrick. It's like it's hard to remember what's what.
that's actually an interesting comparison. I think I think that actually highlights the difference between those two artists and kind of where they're at. It's like Kendrick is this master who has these unfinished things and puts them out, and people are like, "Holy fucking shit, these songs are
Yeah,
fire
Untitled 7, fire.
and unique." And then Donald Glover puts these out, and you're like, "Oh, that one sounds pretty good." And then you're like, "Well, what's going on here?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's that was an algorithm, I think, very
Yeah.
like Nine Inch Nails sounding production on
Sure.
that,
Yeah.
dark hard drums, just like very like, I don't know, it feels chilly in a lot of ways, which doesn't feel like a lot of the rest of the album, because then you even go into Time, which feels almost very 80s. You have this piano at the end, which transitions
Mm-hmm.
nicely into the next song. The next song is very funky and sparse. You have 21 Savage just kind of gliding in and providing this really fun, upbeat, almost like it sounds like he's like bouncing on the beat
Yeah.
in his verse. And then you transition into the next song, which is also very fun, great hook, R&B almost sounding on 1910 or on
Yeah.
2419. Like there's a lot of really really fun stuff on here, but then it kind of stinks back into that weird instrumental at 3222, and you're like, what is
Yeah.
happening to this
That was
album?
almost like Black Skinhead inspired, you know? It's like
Mm,
Donald took the wrong lessons from Yeezus for that. And it's just, there's kind of like a lot of like weird ideas, you know? But
yeah.
like you said, like 1910, that's more of like the, almost like more of an old school Gambino song that you think could have fit on something like Because the Internet. You
Hmm.
know, that's almost like
Yeah.
reminds you of like the sound of like 3005 or
Hmm.
Telegraph Ave or something like that. But yeah, it's experimental and that's cool. Again, I think that's cool. I've appreciated the evolution of Don as an artist, but you know, like This Is America, which won the big Grammy, went
Hmm.
number one. That was, I think, a song that was at its best in its video form. Like I
Hmm.
didn't even have that on my top 10 list. I think as just a song, it's almost a little lacking. And I find that a lot of times when he tries to get more conscious as a rapper, it's not that strong. And that's okay though. Like I appreciate the I still appreciate the social commentary. I'd rather hear you try it than not do it at all. But if that's what you want to do. But yeah, ultimately, I'm just going to default to songs that I just enjoy listening to more. Like you said, 1238, where I think Donald's really fun on that with like a really good flow and stuff, and then perfectly complemented by 21, who, as you said, really rides in well. You know, I ain't tripping, man. I'm Lamborghini whipping. You know, it's just classic 21 on the heater run that he's on. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's weird, man. That's kind of my overall takeaway. I wonder, you know, we know a few years ago, post Awaken My Love, Donald re-upped with RCA Records after he had previously talked about retiring the Childish Gambino name. I wonder if he's maybe just trying to finish up that RCA deal.
Hmm.
We don't really know the terms of that. I wonder if he's like, you know, let me just get some projects out here now that I can do what I want. But I think it's an, I mean, you saw it, you know, Spotify and Apple Music. This is under Childish Gambino, just because that's a baked in brand for him. So I feel like as long as
Right.
he's releasing music, it'll still probably be under this name. And I think people are more and more starting to associate that with his actually like more good music of late, as opposed to his you know, various upbringings as an internet rapper. So
Hmm.
like all things with Donald Glover, multitudes.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I feel like what he's able to say in Atlanta and bring through that, and then where he kind of falls short with his music in terms of like really bringing a poignant message to the forefront. I'm not sure where the disconnect is there. Maybe it's the collaborators he has
Yeah,
in
big writers
Atlanta.
room.
You know, I didn't look at the production credits on this much, but what I did see was he pretty much produced everything and
Yeah,
was in control of
yeah. Ludwig
everything.
Göransson's back again. You
Yeah.
know, who Ludwig probably, I think
Hmm.
became mainstream for his early work with Donald too. So that makes
Yeah.
sense. But I think you're right. Yeah. Again, every time Donald does anything, I'm like, Atlanta, still the best thing Donald Glover's ever done. Please watch that if you haven't on Hulu now. You know,
Yeah. And
um,
you have nothing else to do right now, so go watch it.
please do that. Yeah. But you know, other times, it's a bit like think of Guava Island. Remember that on Amazon?
Yeah.
Uh, okay, right? Not
Fine.
everything he does hits. That's okay, and it's weird. Like he's kind of like I listening to this though, you know, hearing that thing where I remembered, you know, we knew he was a dad a few years ago. I believe he's
Legend.
talking. I believe he's talking to Legend on this. I'm gonna
He
guess.
is. Legend is
Yeah.
credited.
Oh yes. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if Donald's gonna become almost like more reclusive than he already is.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know. That was kind of a thought I had. If he's kind of recede back, because he's kind of like talked in like there was a really extensive profile when Atlanta season 2 happened. I think it was with GQ or the New Yorker or something, and he talked about how he kind of like struggles to grapple with like the large standards people put on him, and you know,
Hmm.
he's always kind of like straddled the line in terms of like black culture and white culture and stuff. I'm just curious, like, what is the next like 5-10 years for him? Like, we already know Atlanta got renewed for 2 seasons, but Atlanta season 3, we don't even know if that's like in too much of pre-pro, let alone any delays that is going to happen from coronavirus. So it just seems like Donald just goes to the beat of his own drum, and you know, it's fun to check in when he does stuff like this. So
He'll come out of his reclusive state when that Lando Calrissian solo movie
I
check
did love
hits.
his Lando, I must say.
Yeah, well, it was pretty good. Well, one last thing I wanted to say: the closing track on this, definitely a bit
55
jarring.
49.
5349 is what I
Yeah,
had,
sorry.
but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song goes hard,
Yeah, it
and
does. Yeah.
I think that is like when Donald Glover is able to like hone everything and really like bring his creative side and like his energy into a way that is very succinct and like chaotic in the best way possible. But this album also has, I think, the times when he does that to the worst possible degree for him too, or maybe not the worst, but at least a very
Mm,
there's highs and lows and peaks and
yeah.
valleys in this. So I don't know
Ultimately,
a lot.
I'm just very curious to see like if we can learn more about the process of making this. Like, how seriously take this? Is this just a throwaway of sorts, like an Untitled Unmastered, or did he, was he talking to Rick Rubin about stuff? Well, we don't know. So I'm just curious how seriously he took this drop, because again, the presentation
Yeah,
makes you think maybe he didn't. And if these are in fact just throwaways, they're not to Kendrick standards. Few things are, but
still
still
really
pretty
good.
good for low effort. So I guess we'll take it.